Hello, I'm starting a series to explain how and why I quilt certain quilt tops. I've found over the years that a lot of new quilters are particularly stressed about the idea when they're told a quilt is desired because they wonder, how am I going to quilt this? I don't know how. So I'm going to give some tips about how I decide how I'm going to quilt something. So this is my aquarium quilt. I call it here Fishy. I really like this one. And this one is a good example of choosing carefully. So if you look at the water, look at the blue fabrics there. So what I did was I machine quilted it, and you can see the bubbles. Now, it did take me a long time to do it. I felt like was a little bit crazy while I was doing it, but the effect, I think, really makes a big difference with the quilt. And then if you look in the water in the aquarium, it's very much like a wave, and that gives the effect that I wanted there. It's quite easy, actually. And then I did not quilt on the seaweed. I did a trapunto. There's an extra layer of batting underneath. I don't know if you can see. It's a little bit of a 3D effect. And so what I did was I appliqued it down with water-soluble thread to hold it in place, and then I just quilted around it to let it pop up, and then I made it wet for the quilt to, for the thread to go away. And then this is what it looks like on the back. So what I did was I looked at the quilt, I looked at the effect that I wanted, and then I tried to see what kind of quilting would give me that effect. And I think it was quite successful. I really like this quilt. So this is part one of how to decide how to quilt your quilt top.